Hello, we are talking transfers. It's John Gibbons here with Ian Doyle from the Liverpool Echo, and we're going to talk about what is going on with Liverpool in the midfield. There's obviously the defence that they're looking to maybe strengthen as well. But before all that, Ian, we will talk about the actual football. You went down to Stamford Bridge yesterday. How was your day? What did you make of it? And what did you feel that Jürgen and the players, when you maybe managed to catch a word after them, what did you feel like they made of it all?
Well, it was a long day. Didn't help that the train was so slow coming back, but that these things happen. On the plus side, Chelsea's food in the press box is still as good as it ever was.
That's good to know.
It's good to know. That's all. That's the only thing that really matters, to be honest. In terms of the game itself, let's be honest, we didn't learn anything. We didn't learn a new thing about anything because we knew exactly what was going to happen, and exactly what ended up transpiring is what we suspected. If anything, actually, to be fair, I think Liverpool overall defended probably a little bit better than perhaps probably expected. Admittedly, a lot of that was in the second half just to purely being pushed back and back and back, and it was just pure numbers getting in the way of the Chelsea players. And when you've got to keep like Alisson making, there weren't brilliant saves, but there was two good saves, wasn't there, from Chilwell and Jackson in the second half when he had to position himself properly. Overall, I don't think anybody could complain with the results, I think, anyway. I saw on social media afterwards saying Liverpool were terrible, but not having that, to be honest. You never ever say no to a point at Chelsea as far as I'm concerned. But we did see that they definitely need a defensive midfielder. And again, I do the ratings for the Echo, and I gave McAllister a 6, and quite a few people took umbrage with that, shall we say. But
people take the ratings very seriously.
Yeah, they do, because it's kind of reflecting of their opinions. So if somebody agrees, you agree with somebody, they're like, yeah, well, I'm completely right about this. But when you don't, then they tend to get a little bit upset, shall we say, with a few swear words and other accusations, certainly on Twitter anyway. Is it Twitter? Is it called Twitter these days? X. It's called Twitter, isn't it? No one's calling it X. But yeah, as for the game itself, McAllister, I thought, did okay up to a point. Certainly going forward, there was no issues, but first half, there was a couple of times where he got caught with the ball on the edge of his own penalty area, which didn't help. But you can't be too critical because he was playing in a position that when he signed for Liverpool, no way in the world did he expect to be playing there in the first game of the season at Chelsea. And I think Liverpool kind of just got, I won't say muddled their way through it, but they certainly found a way to get a result. So that's the positive. The negative is they had 35% possession, which you're never going to win many games if you've got that. And I know Chelsea's not a normal game as such, but even when they played the likes of City, they've had more possession than that, certainly for some of the games. And Chelsea weren't exactly brilliant, but in the second half, Liverpool just gave them all the encouragement. And, well, they kind of got away with it. I think they'd just be glad to get it out of the way.
Yeah, it's out the way, it's a point, and it might look a good point by the end of the season. I think it's going to be tight, around those Champions League places. And so, an away draw at a team who's, possibly going to up there with you. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see where Liverpool, end up and Chelsea. There is so many question marks still about both teams and a lot of teams, I guess. But I think a decent point. The owners were there as well, which was quite interesting. Yeah. I presume not just in town to watch a game of football.
Well, you would think not. They probably went to a restaurant as well, let's be honest. Yeah. There's enough of them.
Some good ones in London, yeah. But it is interesting that it's now. It's interesting that, it feels like, I think it is fair to say that it's a transfer window that's not gone to plan. I don't know what the plan is. You don't know what the plan is, but we can both assume that it's not this.
Yes, that's it.
And so whether it was planned or not, he is here, and you would imagine that there's meetings been had, and points 1, 2, and 3 on the agenda are how we're going to sort out this problem that you've just said, and we all know is there.
Everybody knows. I mean, even if John Henry didn't know already, he'll have watched that game and gone, well, what he knows about football, he probably knows, well, we probably need that kind of player that was a bit like that Brazilian guy that was there, and that English guy that was there, but where have they gone? So yeah, I'd imagine Billy Hogan was already down in London, wasn't he? We knew that. I think Klopp would have had words with John Henry, but I think John Henry already made his statements by sanctioning the bid for Caicedo, which I know we're going to get onto shortly. I think that was kind of the thing that I reckon a lot of Liverpool supporters would have been surprised. Well, a lot of Liverpool journalists were surprised that Liverpool had that amount of money knocking around to bid on one player. And I don't think they just did it for effect. I think they actually clearly wanted to buy the player.
I must have thought there was a chance that
well, that's it. I mean, that's the thing, is that we're hearing conflicting reports, but there's no way that Liverpool would have run the risk of embarrassing themselves in such a way that they knew they had no chance of signing the player, especially when it looks like it could have compromised their chances of signing another player.
YouTube, press the button, become a member of the Anfield Wrap from the heart of the city of Liverpool. The best way to enjoy all your Liverpool-based videos, everything you need, every single day. It is the Anfield Wrap.